right, so we are here in the Kaibab National Forest outside the Grand Canyon because I'm here with my family. We live in an RV and we travel full time. So this is one of our stops. And while we were here, I thought I'd treat you guys to some natural beauty. So enjoy the scenic beauty while we're getting our workout on. All right, we're gonna start with our warm up. Nice gentle arm swings. Just loosening up a little bit. I've already been biking and hiking today, so I'm pretty loose already, but you guys might want to start slow if you're not. A little bit more, maybe if you were started out slow, maybe speed it up a little. And then maybe go even a little bit faster and really let your arms fly, let your torso twist, make sure everything's nice and limber. And then bring that back in. We're gonna move on to our big arm circles. If you have issues with shoulder mobility, you might want to keep them small arm circles, but do what's comfortable for you. And then go the other way. And then take those arms and just throw them in and out. Again, just kind of loosening everything up, getting everything moving. All right, from there, we're going to move on to our elbows. Nice big circles with your elbows. And go the other way. And then from there, moving on to our wrists. I like to just do figure eights with my wrists. That way I'm getting both directions at the same time. But if it's more comfortable for you to go in circles one direction, then this is about the time you'd switch and go the other direction. Excellent. All right, from here, we're gonna move on to our lower body. So bring your feet a little further than hip width apart. We're gonna do some hip rotations. And go the other way. And then moving on to our knees, we're gonna bring our feet in together and start with just popping back and forth. Forward and back. And if that feels okay and you want to make sure your knees are really nice and loosened up and ready to go, try some small circles in one direction. If that doesn't feel good, go back to just the back and forth. But if you're doing those circles, start going the other direction. Excellent. And then we're going to finish off with our ankles. So if you need to hold on to a chair or a wall for balance, go for it. Otherwise, just pick up one foot, spin that foot around in circles in one direction, and then the other direction. And then switch sides. And go the other way. And put it down, give everything a nice shake. And then we are ready to go. All right, for our first exercise, we're gonna do what's called an offset squat. So you're gonna grab one dumbbell, medium to heavy weight, and you're gonna rack it on one side. You're only gonna keep it on one side while you're doing your squat. It's gonna help you engage your core. So keep the other hand up, but empty. You're gonna squat and come right back up. Now, if that feels good and you wanna maybe add a little extra to it, after you come up, bring that knee up for a knee drive. All right, we've got 1 minute on the clock. We're doing a full minute on this side. Here we go. Excellent. Keep that back nice and straight. Keep the tummy tightened in. Gonna hit the core a lot today. Kind of crunch in a little bit when you do that knee drive too. You got it. More than halfway there already. Looking good, keep it up. You always want to squat to whatever is your best depth. That's time for that one. All right, from here, we're gonna give our squats a rest. Don't worry, we'll come back and do the other side. We're gonna do a calf raise, hammer curl. Now I went down to smaller weights for this one, but it's up to you. If you feel like you can still use the heavier weights, go for it. All right, 1 minute, here we go. Calf raise, come down, hammer curl. Beautiful, you got it. Still keep that tummy nice and tight, pulled in. Imagine you're trying to suck your belly button back towards your spine. And kind of tuck your tailbone under a little. Halfway there. You got it. Nice and controlled. Don't just drop down on that calf raise. Lower down with control. Almost there. And time. Beautiful. Good job. All right, grab that weight, rack it on the other side. We're gonna do the other side of our offset squats. So just like we did before, weight on one side, empty hand on the other, feet a little more than hip width apart. Squat, come up, knee drive if you want to add a little to it. 1 minute, here we go. Nice and controlled. Beautiful. You got this. Only 20 seconds to go. Looking good. And time. Beautiful. All right, from here, we're gonna go into a split stance row, and we're gonna add in a tricep kickback. So with your left foot forward, your right foot back, you're gonna row up, kick back, bring it down, just like that. We're gonna do 30 seconds on each side. All right, we got 1 minute on the clock, here we go. So row, kick back. Looking good. Halfway done on this side. You You got it. And switch sides. Row and kick back on the right side. Try to keep a nice flat back. You don't have to lean all the way forward. You don't have to be parallel to the floor, although you certainly can. 10 more seconds. And time. Beautiful. All right, from here, we're going to go down to the floor. So we're going to come all the way down, sit on our bottom. We're going to do a V-sit, feet planted flat on the ground. And then you're going to be doing a shoulder press while you're holding the V-sit. Now, if you feel like you need a little help with your balance, put that other hand behind you to lean back and help support you. If you don't need that, or you don't need as much, you can put it next to your hip and still lean back for that V-sit, or you can bring it all the way up next to your face. And then we're going to do the shoulder press on one side for 30 seconds and then switch. All right, we got 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. The more core engagement you want, the further you lean back. If it starts to become too hard, you can always sit up a little. Take a little bit of that load off the core, or like I said, put your hand behind you. 5 more seconds on this arm. And switch sides. Same thing. Put your hand behind you, next to your hip, or up by your chin. Almost there. 10 more seconds on this side. And time. Beautiful. All right. Now from here, you're going to want a lighter weight. We're going to go all the way down on our belly. One hand, elbow down, arm out flat in front of you. And you're going to take a lighter weight because we're going to hold it all the way out in front of us for Superman pulses. Only one arm at a time. We're going to do 30 seconds on each side. All right, we've got 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. Up and down, small motions. It doesn't need to be big. We're working those back muscles. If at any time you feel like it's too much with the weight, just set the weight down. Do the same thing in the air. Five more seconds on this side. And switch. Make sure you've got a nice stable base with that elbow down. And you can add a little more to it by lifting your feet and even your knees off the ground. Remember, anytime you need to, put the weight down and just go empty hand. Five more seconds. Beautiful. All right. That is the end of our first set. Go grab some water and then we'll come back and do it again. All right, guys, bring it back in. We are ready for our next set. So we're gonna go ahead and grab our heavier weight, starting with our left side for that offset squat, plus the knee drive if you're feeling like it. All right, we've got 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. Drop that squat to a depth that's good for you. Make sure you have your balance before you crunch that knee in. Excellent control, looking good. About halfway there. You got it. Almost done, keep it up. And time, beautiful. All right, from here, those hammer curls and calf raises. Same thing, 1 minute on the clock. You've got this. Here we go. Calf raise, hammer curl. Good control the whole way. Keep that core zipped up tight. Tuck the tailbone under. Make sure you've got good engagement. And same thing on the hammer curl. Don't just drop the weight, lower it with control. You want to work the muscle in both directions. Ten more seconds. And time. All right, now we got to do the other side of those squats. So rack it up on the other side. We've got 1 minute on the clock. Go. Looking good. Slow and steady. More than halfway there. Remember to keep breathing. Ten seconds to go. And time, beautiful. All right, from here, we're going back to that split stance squat. I'm sorry, not squat, row plus tricep quick kickback. Doing a lot of squats today, I got squats on the brain. All right, so 1 minute, 30 seconds on each side. Here we go. Row plus kickback. You got this. Halfway there, switch sides. Make sure you switch your feet as well as your hands. Fifteen more seconds. And time. From here, we're going down into those V-sits and shoulder press. Make sure your feet are planted. Remember, you have the different places you can put your hand, depending on your level of difficulty. And we'll switch sides halfway through. All right, 1 minute, here we go. Getting a lot of core work in today. The offset movements with the weight on one side really force you to engage your core muscles. 10 more seconds on this side. And switch. Check your V-sit. Do you need to come up a little, or do you need to maybe lean back a little more? Make sure that you're working those muscles, but you only want to push yourself to fatigue, never to pain. 10 seconds left on this side. And time. Excellent. All right, we're gonna finish it off with 1 minute of those one-arm Supermans. Remember to support yourself on that opposite elbow, and then we'll switch halfway through. So you're sitting up nice and tall, supported on your elbows. Lift those feet off the ground if you can. And then one arm out, here we go. Fairly small movements. And if this is hard on your back, put the weight down, and you can even just hold the arm still and still get that back engagement, just like you would with the weight. 10 more seconds on this side. And switch sides. Make sure to get that arm set so you're supported on the one side. So you're really working the other side. 15 more seconds here. You got this. Take a break if you need to, and then get right back to it. And time. Excellent. All right, that's 2 sets down. Grab some water, and we got 1 more to go. All right, here we go. Last set. Go ahead and get that heavier weight ready for your squats. We've got 1 minute on the clock. Go. If you're starting to get fatigued, you can leave off that knee drive and just do the squats. Or if you're still feeling good, keep that knee drive in there. Maybe even pause a second at the top of it if you want to get a little more core work in. Halfway done. You got this. Looking good. And time. All right, moving on to those calf raises and hammer curls. 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. Beautiful. Nice and controlled. More than halfway there already. It's your last set. You're almost done. 5 more seconds. And time. Beautiful. All right, rack it up on the other side for those squats. 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. Keep that core still tight. Keep the knee drive or leave it off depending on how you're doing. And if you want to up the core work just a little bit, add in that pause and squeeze at the top. Halfway there. Looking good. And time. Excellent. All right, now into that split stance, row plus kickback. Switching at the halfway point. Make sure you've got a good split in your stance. You don't want your feet too close together. This will help you balance a little more, plus it'll isolate your front leg. All right, 1 minute, here we go. Almost there on this side. And switch sides. Go straight into the other side. Ten more seconds, almost there. And time, excellent. All right, down we go for the V-sits. Adjust your V-sit for where your core is right now. If it's already fatigued, it's okay, sit up a little taller. If you still want to work hard, lean back into it. We got 30 seconds on each side. Go. Make sure you keep those feet firmly planted. And you can have the other hand on the floor or up by your chin, depending on where you are. 5 more seconds on this side. And switch. Last one, squeeze it in, you got it. Ten more seconds. And time. All right, we're gonna finish it out with those Supermans from the raised position. Go down to the lighter weight or go empty hand, whichever one works for you. All right, here we go, 1 minute. And of course, go empty hand, holding it still or still pumping the arm, depending on where you are. 5 more seconds on this side. Switch sides. You got this. Same thing as the other side. You can always go down if you're already fatigued. 5 more seconds. And time. Beautiful. You did it. 3 sets. All right, grab some water and then we're going to stretch. All right, gang, bring it in for our final stretch. Make sure your weights are safely out of the way. Bring your feet about shoulder width apart. Bring those arms all the way up. Lean to one side, stretch out those side muscles. Back to center, lean to the other side. Back to center, slight back bend. And then fold all the way forward. And you're just going to let yourself hang here with a nice soft bend in your knees. Come up just a little bit. Start swinging those arms in nice, gentle, small circles in one direction. Just letting them dangle in the shoulder socket. And then go the other direction. And then you're going to bend those knees, push up nice and strong, roll all the way up. Roll your shoulders up to your ears and then down and back. Take one arm, bring it across your body. Look over that shoulder. Maybe do a gentle nod up and down of your head. Stretch your neck out as well. And then release. Go to the other side. Same thing, look over that shoulder if it feels good. And then maybe add that little nod up and down. Come back to center and release. Bring your arms or your legs out nice and wide. Bring those arms back up again. This time we're going to do a little bit bigger side bend. Maybe even put that hand down and drop into it. Really stretch out those core muscles. And then come all the way up. Go to the other side. And then if it feels good, put that hand down and drop a little deeper into it. And then come back up to center and still with your feet nice and far apart. We're going to do one more forward fold. From here, we're going to walk our hands back behind our feet, maybe even behind your ankles and pull down a little bit. Get a really good stretch through the back of your legs. And you're going to plant those hands, walk them forward just a little bit so that you can sink really into those shoulders. Let your head hang nice and heavy. And then walk them back in. Bend those knees, roll all the way up. And you're done. Great job today.